Oh, he probably did, I creep. Ain't no doubt about that. Exactly. The same thing I said should happen to him. Because the motherfucker lying about sexual assault is just as bad as motherfucking sexually assaulting somebody. Both of them type of people deserve a bullet to the dome. So if you really saying that I'm out here motherfucking lying on you, nigga, do something about it. Do something about it for real. Well, baby, don't wait too long. Because you're going to be real disappointed. Don't we really live in a country that believes in the death penalty? Do we or do we not live in a country that believes in the death penalty? What is the death penalty in place for? Tell me. Alina, whatever, however you pronounce your name. What do we have the death penalty for? I'll wait. Because I got time today. Rennie didn't go to sleep till about 7 o'clock this morning. I got time today. So what do we have the death penalty for? See, that's crazy. Y'all come here and y'all ask me all of these questions, and I answered the majority of them, especially when they're respectful. Sometimes even when they're not. But when I ask y'all questions, y'all get quiet as fuck. For awful crimes. What's an awful crime? Is sexual assault not an awful crime? Jail. Hey, boo. Hello. I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Hold on. That's my fault. Say something. No. Can y'all hear? We can't hear. No one can hear. Now she frozen. You just got blocked out of I speak. I sent the request again. Did we ever get an answer on that? Is sexual assault not an awful crime? I would like to know your so no. So you don't think sexual assault is an awful crime? Say so. We, there's no sound.
All right. How about
There you
now?
go. Now we can hear you.
Okay, you know what I think it is? I think it's because I had my Bluetooth on. That's probably what it was.
Hey,
All
my
right.
love.
I'm going to say this because I'm getting really fucking sick and tired of this shit. And you know me, I try to stay silent as far as like I don't want to come off like I'm bashing anybody or attacking anybody, because for the most part, since I wasn't there, I don't want to speak on things that I wasn't there about, since I don't
Right.
know, you know. But at the same time, I feel like even though I wasn't there, I know for a fact, however, what I was told.
Right.
And I have always gone by what I was told. Um Let me make this clear for those people who constantly want to talk about that. I've always said I had love for Cuban. Yes, I did have love for Cuban. I respected Cuban. I respected Cuban's work. And you know what? I still do to a degree. I'm not going to lie. I still do. What I don't respect though is the lies. That I cannot get behind, because all the way up to June 14th, Cuban was telling me the same story
Right.
that you told me.
Right.
And the story was that Mo was misappropriating funds. She called her out privately with King. King recorded her calling her out, and Mo put it on Facebook
On TikTok.
and on TikTok, I mean. And ever
Yeah.
since then, they've had problems. And that when she approached Mo, the first thing that Mo did was bring up the sexual assault. And she told me I didn't know what she was talking about.
Right. Because I hadn't told anybody. I hadn't even told Mo how I felt. So for Mo to even bring that up to her, that was her
So
own
her
guilty conscience.
ground with me has always been that the only reason Mo said what she said or released that recording was of where you had confided in her about what I Speak did to Cuban, was because her guilty conscience, and she was trying to run away from the fact because she was the bitch that calls out people on shit, in her words, because she was calling Mo out on appropriating funds. That's what she's always told me, all the way up to June 14th of 2022, few
Right.
months ago. So either you were fucking lying then, Cuban, to me, or
Right.
you're lying now. And I always stood behind her because I always thought like she was scared to speak up against I Speak. That's really what I always thought. And
She's
that's
not
why I always
stupid.
stood behind her, because I was like, you know what? I can see her being fearful, because I see like I'm literally seeing how what Lisa's going through with how
Hey,
he
hey, hey.
weaponized his followers against Lisa. So I can understand why Cuban is scared to speak up in the truth. You know, she's confided in me and really why. So I can see why she wouldn't publicly say it, and why she's been publicly denying but privately supporting Lisa up until June 14th with me. And
Right.
I try to understand that. But now we're at the point where you gotta like shit like what's that saying goes, like get a piss or something, or get off the shitter or whatever the fuck it is. That's kind of
Shit
where
or
I'm
get
at
off the
right now,
toilet.
because like all along I believed you, Cuban. from what you've always told me. I've always supported you, Cuban, and Palesa. I've never made that a secret. I've always made that clear to you and everybody around me. So now I'm fucking confused.
Right.
I'm hella confused.
Hey, baby girl.
Because you told me one thing. You told me this whole thing started because you were calling out Mo on misappropriating funds. And this is why this whole thing started. That her guilty conscience got the best of her because you didn't even know what really was going on between Palesa and
But I
Cuban.
ain't gonna say that's why this whole thing started, but that's
I'm
why
saying
things
that's what
started
she
between
told
her
me,
and
though.
Cuban.
No,
Between
I'm
her and
saying,
Cuban, though, started because of that, not because of this sexual assault.
oh, no, no, no,
Didn't
no.
happen because
Yes,
of this. That was gonna
yes.
be out. That was gonna be told
Yeah, she told me that
regardless.
too. Yes,
But
that's what she told
right,
me
that's what
too.
I'm saying. So the beef between them
It was already way
started.
before you and you, before way before you confronted Mo. Way before you confronted Mo. But what I'm
Right,
saying is, she told me that the whole reason why even any of this went public was because Mo felt threatened. That Mo thought that Cuban was going to blackmail her with what she thought Cuban knew. And Cuban told me I didn't even know what she was talking about. So all along, I am believing Cuban and what she's telling me.
right,
And honestly, you and Cuban were literally telling me the same fucking story. So either you were lying to me then or you're lying now.
right.
I'm confused as
But we know
fuck.
that she's lying now. I mean, my thing is like even the whole situation with her and Eddie Brock trying to spin that shit and say that they lied on I Speak just to catch
I
me up.
asked her about
I
Eddie Brock.
still don't
I asked her
understand
about
why.
Eddie Brock in our personal DMs. You know what she told me?
But,
I don't fuck with him. So I don't give a fuck what he says. I don't give a shit about him.
but according to him, they got together and said that I Speak sexually assaulted Cuban to catch me up. How does that make sense?
Here's
How
my
does that
thing.
make sense?
It doesn't make sense because you know what? I have other recordings of Eddie where he says something completely different as to why he did what he did. And I'm saving that because at the end of the day, when it comes to court, I have so many fucking screen recordings of lives and videos and all kind of shit. I don't need to release them because you know what? I'm saving them for when we go to court
That's
and you
why I said
explain.
I'm not going through that whole ordeal of posting
Yeah,
all
I
these
don't have to.
motherfucking videos again. I'm
I
not
have
doing it.
I have almost five
Either
thousand
y'all
hours.
keep up or get left. Like I don't care
Like
because at the end of the day, I don't care if y'all believe me or not.
I have 5,000 videos of screen recordings going back from almost the very beginning. Um,
Right.
I really can like do a whole bunch of shit if I want to, as far as like releasing
If we
quote
wanted
unquote
clout,
receipts if I
hold
want to
on, wait, wait,
clout
wait, wait. If we
type shit.
wanted clout, if we wanted clout, we have more than enough evidence to get this motherfucking
I
clout
do.
that y'all talking about. We could post videos all day long, every motherfucking day, and
Listen,
have y'all reporting y'all asses off on this goddamn app.
listen.
But it's not
Between
about
me
clout for me.
and Sobe and Caramel and Apple Sticks, um,
And
Yodi,
others, even
Rashida,
others,
a whole bunch
yeah.
of people.
Portia,
Between all
it's
the
so many
videos and
people.
recordings that
Sin,
we
it's so many
have,
people that have been recording so much shit.
this was about clout. We'll put that all up. No, but we're saving it. We're saving it. Not only are we saving those for the court cases, but we have a whole bunch of other videos that we're saving for the aftermath. When Palisa, if she decides to sue you for fucking defamation right after, monetizing on her trauma afterwards, if we
Again,
fucking want to.
um,
because you guys are
Uh,
literally have said you have monetized off of this shit.
yep. And we've already talked. I mean, I've already talked to a lawyer. Y'all heard the recording. The lawyer told me I have
And
so much
Tanya
so
Michelle,
much evidence of
Tanya
defamation of
Michelle,
character. It would be
Tanya
easy for me to.
Michelle. Hold on, because I
You
really
you
want to
been
say
drinking?
yes a little
Because
bit. You know when I,
you are lit
when
tonight.
I'm drinking,
I
when
know
I'm drinking, I
y'all finna get the fire tonight. Pull my finger. She been holding so much stuff in too. Y'all finna get that shit right now.
Tanya
I feel
Michelle, I
bad
haven't
for y'all.
spoken on you. I've never badmouthed you. I've never made a video of you, a live of you. I've never said anything about you ever. You want to know why? Cause you're nobody. I don't have to explain myself to you. You ain't my mother. You ain't my daddy. I don't gotta be scared of you. I don't gotta be scared of me getting spanked or getting punished or blah. You ain't nobody to me. You're irrelevant to me. I'm gonna tell you something, Tanya. Me and you both know why you got beef with me. You know why. Because you know that when you first came into the game months ago, I told you that I feel, and I gave you my personal constructive criticism that I thought that you were centering yourself too much and you were speaking for Lisa on situations that Lisa was not saying. And ever since then, you didn't like me. So let's speak the truth. You don't like to be called out. You don't like to be criticized. You don't like to be
I'm
told.
listening.
You
Cut
don't
back.
like anything. If anybody calls you out on anything, you get upset. And once you get upset, you get it in your head that you need to go after this person. You want all the smoke and blah, blah, blah. But even after everything you said, and you called me a bitch many a times in your lives, I never addressed you, never went after you, never spoke on you. The only thing I told Lisa was, at the end of the day, she don't like me, but she supports you, and that's all that matters to me. I didn't care what fucking issue you had with me. Lisa told me I'm gonna leave the group because you're gonna leave the group, and I told Lisa, do not leave the group, even if I leave. Me leaving has nothing to do with anything else because at the end of the day, she supports you, and if she supports you, then I support her, even though I don't fucking like her right
Yes, sweet
now. Even
Nessie.
though
You
I
can block
fucking
the zero
even
accounts.
though I fucking question her intentions, I'm not sure. So I don't want to say 100% sure that but as far as right now, she supports you. So do not leave the group. Did I not tell you that, Lisa?
Yeah.
Every time she
And
badmouth
like I told you in that phone conversation, the reason I wanted to leave the group is because I don't like all the back and forth. Like I like contrary to people's beliefs, like I don't like drama. I don't like the bullshit. I don't like the fuckery. I don't like to be in between it. And I said to you, it would be better for me to leave if y'all everybody can still keep supporting me if that's what they want to do in their own way. However, because I've never asked anybody to do anything for
I'm gonna
me.
tell you this. I'm gonna
And I
tell you this.
only
I know a lot of
stayed
people.
because you asked me to stay.
I listen. I know that you know me and you have different opinions when it comes to Vixen, right? As far as
Yeah.
POVs of how things went down. And I don't care, but I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna stick by this. Vixen was right about you. She was right about you all along, Tanya. What you wanted to do was push us away from Lisa. And the minute that you saw that me and Lisa had a problem, when me and Lisa got into that argument, right? And I'll be honest with everyone.
Hold on. Let me put this disclaimer though.
Okay.
We agree on that Vixen was right. What I do not support is Vixen blatantly lying on people to prove her rightness. I don't support nobody lying on nobody. I don't give a fuck if the lie is believable because of the person that you're lying on. I do not support nobody
I'm gonna say this.
lying on nobody. So
I
I
will say
agree
this. I
that
will
Vixen
say
was
this.
right. I do not, I'm responding to the people in my comment section, baby.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't agree with how she went about trying to prove her rightness by blatantly lying on Tanya. I can't, I will never back that. And then not only just Tanya,
We
you
have
then turn
different
around and
POVs
lied.
on that.
You then turn around and lied on me and pull my finger, who were your fucking day one girls, just to prove that you were right. So, but you can
I
go
will
ahead,
say
baby. I just
this.
wanted to
I will say
respond to
this.
that in the comment section.
I get you. I will say this. I don't care what Vixen says. I know that in her heart of hearts, she knows that Lisa is telling the truth. I have my own reasons for that,
Right.
but I know for a fact that she knows in her heart of hearts that Lisa's telling the truth. I don't care what she says. Um, I think a lot of this came about, a lot of that reaction from her came about from uh, hurt, and this is where I can understand where she's coming from as far as feeling hurt. I can't understand though the reaction to it. That I will say, but I will say this: if me and Lisa can fall out today, me and you can fall out today, and I will still never say you're lying because
Right.
at the day, I know the truth. I don't
Right.
and I don't know the truth just because of hearsay and blah blah blah. I know the truth because I was in that phone call with Daewoo. I was
Right.
in that phone call with Eddie Brock. I was, or should I say, I saw the messages with Eddie Brock. I was,
Right.
I had that
That phone
conversation
call with, yep,
with
that
Cuban.
conversation with Cuban was with you.
That's what made me realize at that when I had that conversation with Cuban. Even when I had the conversation, I was still not against Cuban. Cuban knows that because I've made it always very clear to Cuban that I always supported her and you because I believed that you guys were victims of I Speak. I didn't care what she told me as much as she denied it because she did
Right.
deny it. But when we had that conversation, and let's make this clear, the only reason why I even had that conversation with Cuban and the only reason why I even recorded that conversation was because she deleted and I was watching. I got notifications that messages were being unsent on my IG. And when I saw who was sending them, it was her. And my first instinct was to call her as to why are you unsending messages? Because let's make this very clear. A lot of these messages that she was unsending were messages of her supporting Lisa again up until June 14th of 2022. So a
After
few months ago.
NCIS got involved.
Yes.
After NCIS got
In fact,
involved.
she used to tell me when people were live so I can record. Mo is live. Are you recording that? Oh, I can't believe Mo is not claiming that she's outing her. Can you believe this bullshit? Like, these are the type of conversations that me and Cuban had. She secretly, privately supported Palesa up until June. And I'm going to tell you when she stopped. She stopped the day that she claimed
June 12th.
that Lisa
June 12th. When
weaponized
I told El Rico, fuck his
Rico.
SA.
Fuck his essay. That's when
Yep.
she stopped.
June
Because
12th.
up until then, she did. And she told me in that phone call, if you guys hear that phone call, she goes, what does it matter if I deleted if I removed messages? You probably screen recorded them anyway. Yeah, you're right, I did.
Yep. But see, Flabby Patty, she needed a reason to flip. And the El Rico situation was like her, that was like her out to it was her way of like really turning on me, like completely turning on me because first of all, like I told y'all in the very beginning, nobody knew what was actually recorded and what wasn't recorded. And mind you, you got I Speak, Cuban, and Daewoo scared that I recorded that phone conversation where I Speak admitted to every fucking thing I said he did to me. So for the
Let's make
first
this
couple of
thing
months,
clear.
wasn't nobody saying shit for
If
real
anybody wants
other
to
than
talk
she
shit about,
lying.
let's make something real clear too. If anybody wants to talk shit about who's recording what and who's record, I recorded. I recorded Daewoo
Right.
conversation with Lisa. I did. Who the fuck is gonna reach out to someone at 3:30 in the morning because you have a
A
guilty conscience?
motherfucker with a guilty conscience.
You know you did wrong.
A motherfucker with a guilty conscience. And mind y'all, in that motherfucking in that audio, once again, I want to put out there that she says out her own mouth that she asked I Speak what happened in the bathroom, and he admitted that he was standing outside the door with his hand on the fucking doorknob. And my question to her is that not creepy enough in itself? Why in the fuck would you be doing that?
And Cuban, do you remember the DMs that we had where I had told you how um T Nathan was live with Naliv, and
Mm-hmm.
I was, how is he live with Naliv after all the shit she talked about you? And I said, are you planning on dethroning him? And do you remember what you told me?
What'd she tell you?
She knows what she told me. Matter of fact, I sent you that screenshot, Lisa, of what she told me. So you can go back to our text messages.
Girl, I ain't finna
Here's
go through
another
them
thing.
goddamn
Hold on.
text
No, here's
messages to
another thing.
find no goddamn.
Here's another
First
thing
of
that
all,
people don't.
I'm not finna do that. You know I'm not finna do that shit. I don't
Well,
give. I don't give enough of a fuck, to
I
be
have it. But I'm
honest.
saving all of it for court. See, here's my
Right?
thing.
That's what I'm saying, Kay.
Here's
Just say
my thing.
it. Just
I don't
say it. At this point,
get on this
I mean,
app
at this,
prove
huh?
shit to fucking nobody. I don't need to get on this app and prove shit to you. No, I'm not saying you, Lisa, but I mean to you in general. I don't need to prove shit to you, to nobody, nobody.
Right.
But when we go to court, I got all the receipts. I got the receipts where Lloyd said that people reached out to him and he was co-signing with Cuban, saying that people were reaching out to him, that Mo was misappropriating funds. Because let's not get it twisted. This is how everything started, right? Because you tell Cuban, you ask Mo from the very beginning of this whole story, that's what they will tell you, that that's how this all started. Cuban told me this all the way up to June 14th, that that's why this whole thing was going on, was because she called out Mo on misappropriations of funds. And her guilty conscience got
Well,
the
and let
best
Mo
of her,
tell it. Mo
over
say
her,
it started because she was about to expose Cuban for being white.
or part of the
So they
Black
was both
Panther,
lying.
quote unquote. I will tell you this, like, listen, I supported Cuban. I did. Because Cuban was boots in the ground. And people always talk about, like, mind your business, don't get into black business, stay in your lane. I am staying in my lane. I do stay in my lane. The only time I call out any is Cuban. Cuban ain't black.
Right.
And there's a lot of other receipts I got
Because it's
of
dark there. It's
people
night
calling
there.
other
She's sitting
indigenous
outside.
creators, telling me, convincing me that they were anti-black, that now all of a sudden, indigenous creators convincing me that they were anti-black. And I went along with it. And actually, I actually saw the proof and the receipts that they were anti-black, that they were support against Cuban. And now all of a sudden, I see them supporting Cuban. The same people
Well, because
that
everybody on this app, especially,
indigenous creators that were shown to me and proven to me and made me to truly believe that they were anti-black. And I'll be honest, they are, like, from what I've seen, they are. But now all of a sudden, anyway,
I
I
don't
got
believe
all the
none of these large
I got
creators.
all the
I don't
proof.
care
And I'm
what
not
race
putting them
they
out.
are,
I'm not putting them out. I'm not
what.
putting them out.
Yeah,
Because let
what
me
I'm saying is I don't believe any of them are for liberation of any of these marginalized
no,
groups of people.
let me tell you, I've been so disappointed in a lot of the indigenous creators that I followed, because they were no better than Modern Warrior. They were no better than all these fucking performative activists who claimed to be. All they were doing was doing call out videos and, and
Hold on,
trying to get
Paul. Hold on, Paul. Hold on. Um, excuse me. Why isn't he the fuck in
I,
jail for doing that shit to you? Can you please think and tell me how many victims actually get justice? How many of these perpetrators actually end up in jail for sexual? And I mean, especially for sexual assault and sexual harassment. We're not even talking about rape. I'm talking about sexual assault and sexual harassment, which is indeed a fucking punishable crime. But how many of them actually go to jail?
mm-hmm.
How many? When y'all jump in the face or the comment section or the space of a victim and say, why isn't he in jail? That's a question you should be asking the motherfucking police. Because at this point, law of enforcement knows exactly what the fuck he's done. They've been able to watch the same footage that we've been watching. And anybody with a fucking pea-sized brain that's been watching this footage would understand and know for a fact I'm not lying on this man. Because if he were the one telling the truth, there would be no reason for his story to fucking change. There would be no reason for him to admit to something and then turn around and say he didn't do it, and then turn around and tell 10 different fucking stories, 10 different versions of some shit, and still won't this motherfucker still won't even address the actual assault part. When he tell his story, he skip all the way to the motherfucking end of the night when we're getting in the fucking car. But what about what the fuck you did in the bathroom, nigga? Throughout this whole motherfucking 4-part interview, nobody asked this nigga about the bathroom, period. Nobody. Nobody. Derek did not ask this man not one time what happened in the bathroom.
Listen, anyone who's trying to claim that I'm like flip flopping and going along with fucking whatever Lisa says, let's make something one. Like, let's just make this very clear, okay? I have listened to Lisa's story, and Cuban co-signed her story all the way up again to June 14th, a few months ago. So she wants to act like all along she's been against her, like within a week. No, you weren't, and you know that, because you were in my inbox, and I screen record. Listen, way before you started deleting messages, I screen recorded those messages, because I knew right off the back you were not being 100% truthful, because what you were saying to me privately and what you were saying publicly was a contradictory. I was on you.
Hey, hey. Uh,
And
Shakespeare.
I'm very fucking confused, because this is a woman that I supported. And I supported her because she still supported you privately, right? And I still decided to support her, even though she was being very quiet publicly about things. She was not quiet with me privately. So I still decided to, like, and for anybody who doesn't know this, Lisa's always known about our DMs. You want to know why? Because I gave access to Lisa of my all my social medias, not just my IGs, not just
This is
my
Marilyn's
Facebook,
phone. This is Pull My
my
Fingers phone.
Twitter, my
This is
everything. So
this is Pull
every
My Fingers
time
phone right
Cuban,
here.
every
Even
time
her work
Cuban message,
email, even her work email is logged in on this fucking phone.
everything,
Her email, her Facebook, her Instagram,
my text
every
messages,
fucking thing. Her
our
personal
group
email, her work
messages, my
email.
mama,
When her
our
mama
group
called, when her
messages,
mama called on Facebook,
everything,
I be trying to
everything.
keep Rennie from answering this fucking phone.
She's had access to all my PMs for a very long time. Every time Cuban messaged me, Lisa got messaged and she saw it.
Well, I didn't see it. I didn't because I didn't open your
I mean,
messages.
I understand
You know,
you didn't care to see them,
right.
but
It's just the
you did
fact that
get
I
the
had
message.
access to it. If I wanted to, I could have gone
Mhm.
all through her phone. Like I still ain't, I
Yep.
don't even go through her pictures.
Right. But you got the messages every time she sent me a message, a private
Right.
message. You got a notification of it. There's never been anything hidden between me and you, ever.
Right.
I never told Cuban that, obviously, that you had access to my social media, because at this point, I really felt like you're I don't know what to believe anymore, because you tell me one thing in one breath, but you say publicly another in another breath. I didn't understand it. And the only